Okay, to set the toe on the other side, you could run a string over there just like we did on this side, or you can use what I call a car caliper. And it's basically just that. Since we've set this side, we can set this car caliper across here and measure off the other side. To the rim and get a relative reading. And make sure you don't knock into your strings. This end here has a little pointer that I bump right into the sidewall edge of the rim. This is set up for a wider car, a GT2 car. This is a GT3 car, not quite as wide. So I use a tape measure on this side, and I just measure out here, take a reading. Slide it back. Take another reading. And this will give you total toe. So I'm not looking for a 1/16 here, I'm looking for an 1/8 of an inch. And I have just about a quarter. So we're going to take some out of this side. Loosen up the jams. And we'll tighten this up. Check my center line mark on the rack. It's moved a little bit, so I got to recheck it. A little more toe out. Okay, it looks pretty close. I'm going to take the caliper out and double check it. Okay, so now we'll lightly tighten these jam nuts. And I'm going to check the toe one more time. Check the center on the steering rack. Check the toe on this side one more time. Okay, it looks good. Okay, so if you want to measure from the center line out to your wheel, or you can measure from the center line if you have access underneath to like the center of your ball joint, which I've already done, but I'll just show you here. You can measure from the middle of the wheel height down to the string and do the same on the other side. And then you can see if everything's centered in the chassis. Do that on the front, do that on the rear, and then do your alignments. Okay, to set the caster, again use the camber caster gauge. Stuck on the front hub. I take a protractor, stick it roughly on the ground, centered with the hub, and then grab a straight edge, and set it at about 30 degrees. I'm not sure if the wheel will turn that far both ways, but we'll find out. Make a little line on the ground. This doesn't have to be super perfect, just really, really close. Draw another little line. Okay, so when we're doing this, we're going to bump our strings, so I'm just going to get it out of the way for now and put it back later if I need it. I don't really at this point, but I will if I want to check the toe again. And now, we steer the wheel. And what I'm doing is I'm turning the steering wheel, wheel and tire assembly, so that it's about 30 degrees. So basically parallel to the mark I just made on the ground. Or not parallel. Parallel from the front, 90 face. Now I level the camber caster gauge. Set the gauge to 0. Now I turn it back the other way. 30 degrees. Level the gauge. And read the caster portion. It says I have 6 degrees positive, which if I do is way too much. So I'm going to try reading it the other way around. I'm going to set this to 0 and turn it back. Yeah, indeed, it's 6 degrees. So if I had superhuman strength or power steering, you might be able to get away with that with a skinnier tire, but something this wide would make it pretty tough to steer. So to take caster in and out on this chassis is pretty easy, because these top 2 bolts, as I told you in other episodes, are slotted, so I can move the top control arm forward or back, and that will adjust the caster. So I need to move it forward a little bit. Okay, so we're going to take some caster out, so I need to move this upper control arm forward. Trying not to step on my string here. Okay, slid her forward about 1/4 of an inch. Let's see what that does. Okay, that looks good. Level gauge. Didn't move much at all. About 5.5. And we need to do it some more. And we're now at about 4. I'd rather be at 3.5. So what I'll have to do is shorten this lower trailing arm, or lengthen it if I wanted more, to get a little bit more out of it. Repeat it on the other side. check my camber and my toe in again, and we'll be done. Okay, so I've double checked and triple checked everything. I think I've got the alignment pretty darn close. I also set the rear pinion angle. I think you can see the angle finder down in there. I know you can't read it from here, but it's set at 2 degrees down in the front. I just did that by twisting the upper link right there. I could also shorten the lower links or lengthen equally on each side. That'll also change the pinion angle, just depending on what I want to do to the wheelbase. Okay, so that's it for now. Thanks for watching my video. I'll see you next time.